Welcome. You're listening to the Best of Investing on News Talk 910, sponsored by Pacific Trade Exchange, your best in trade. This is the show where we present valuable information about real estate, the financial markets, and other economic business of the day. And there we have some new listeners. So for those people, here's our format. A few guys sitting around a bar having drinks without the drinks, talking business with you, the audience listening in. Yeah, a couple of empty cups there. All right, guys. I'm your host, Edward Brown, and I'm pleased to have as my co-host Mark Hanf of Pacific Private Money, California's fastest growing private lender, and Robert Schiff of RPM Mortgage. Now, our phone number is 888-912-1190. Write that number down, 888-912-1190, because you're going to use that number to answer the trivia questions for 3 vacations given away during each commercial break. You got it. We're giving away 9 vacations during this show. The vacations are sponsored by Lighthouse Resort and Marina, located 1 hour northeast of San Francisco. And the vacations are free. Their only request, a $75 cleaning fee to cover housekeeping expenses. Their website is lighthouse4fun.com. You can reach them at 916-777-5511. And today's trivia theme is famous comebacks in sports. Be kind of exciting.
Good.
And our website is bestofinvesting.com. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube by typing Best of Investing Radio Show. And don't forget to catch us on television. Comcast Channel 26 on Saturdays at noon and Sundays at 6 p.m. Also, World Wraps in Corte Madera and Santa Clara is still giving our listeners a free smoothie. God bless those guys. With a free smoothie if you purchase a wrapper bowl by mentioning the Best of Investing. Go
what
to
a
the
deal.
Today. Such a deal. All right. Now, Mark, you taught a 2-day workshop. Tell us what happened during that workshop.
Yeah. I was invited by a company that sponsors foreclosure investing information. They're based in Sacramento. It's actually foreclosures.com, foreclosuresplural.com. Very, very good educational company. In fact, back in 2007, I had taken one of their educational courses. Anyway, the owner of that company had invited me to come up and talk to a class of 40 for 2 days, and the topic of that was attracting private money. And so we realized that we kind of created that topic out of thin air earlier this year, speaking with the owner of the company when I told her that my company, Pacific Private Money, we're now having our 4-year anniversary this month, August, but at the time this was about 6 months ago. We were 3.5 years old, and I said, we've done nearly 400 loans, and I've attracted over 300 private investors to the company. And she said, oh my gosh, you should really come and talk to my class about that. And because everybody's always trying to figure out in this business, if you're a real estate investor, if you're looking to buy real estate and maybe you don't quite have the piggy bank you used to have before the real estate market adjusted in 2008. And so she said you should come up and talk to people about raising private money and share with them the experiences and the kind of what did I do the last few years to kind of attract people into my
Won't they kind of create a little competition for you though?
So were the people taking the class looking to invest or looking to try to get people to invest?
Probably replicate what you did.
What I was thinking.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what everyone
Trading
says to me. They
competition.
say, Mark, why would you do that? I mean, here you are, you're a hard money loan broker. Why would you educate real estate investors on how to circumvent you and how to go out to the community at large and raise private money? And the theory of it is that, first of all, we don't do 100% financing loans at Pacific. In fact, very few hard money lenders or private money lenders will do that. They generally require that borrowers have skin in the game. Well, a lot of borrowers out there, or I should say a lot of potential real estate investors out there, people who are interested in getting back into the real estate market, they may not have the capital base, or maybe they have just enough capital to do one deal but not the next deal. So they're in need of an equity partner or a joint venture partner or just equity capital in general. And so in a way it is self-serving for me to go out and say, hey guys, here's how you can go out and find private lenders. Here's where to go, here's what to say, here's how to put together a credibility package. Here are the steps that I would recommend you do to go out and find an equity partner. And then when you find that equity partner, come to a reputable hard money lender like me, leverage that equity, because quite frankly, I mean, in this day and age, we know that yields are a lot thinner. Profits are smaller than they used to be. No one's making the $100,000 per flip that they were in 04, 05, 06. But so nowadays, in my opinion, you shouldn't do 100% all cash fix and flip deals, for example. I think the yields are too thin. I mean, you're lucky to make 15% oftentimes on a project, but if you leverage
that's like being just a regular contractor at that point.
Well, that's just it. So, but what if you use half equity and half borrowed money, or maybe 40% equity and 60% borrowed money through a hard money lender? The returns to the equity investor go up dramatically. And what I teach the investors in the classroom is, I say, the potential real estate investors in the classroom, I say, listen, guys, your job is to make your equity investor very, very happy.
Sure,
your job is to make him money.
Another deal with
so
you.
Don't go out and find a guy with 200,000 and then go do one project. Go find a guy with 200,000 and do 2 or 3 projects. Leverage that money. You're going to make him a much better yield. Return, he's going to be fabulously happy. He's going to want to do more projects.
Okay, so you're not necessarily teaching people how to be a hard money lender.
No.
These are real estate investors who you're trying to get the equity for. Oh yeah, that's definitely self-serving, and it's fine.
Right.
I was trying to understand,
so you're saying to them, you're not ready to come to me and use all your money in one deal. Why don't you? Here's some hints that I can give you to go out and find other people that you can partner with, so you have a bigger lump sum to make as a down payment on several deals, and then you can come to me and we can do the hard money loan, because you're just putting part of your money up, you're not putting all your money up, and nor are you asking us as a hard money lender to go out over 65% of the loan.
That's exactly right. See, I don't want to do high percentage financing. In my business, we're very comfortable making a 65 or 70% purchase price loan. We can write those loans all day long, but we get calls at our company saying, hey, do you know where I can find equity partners, or will you introduce me to some of your private lenders as an equity partner? And my answer is no.
Exactly.
First of all, you don't have a relationship with these guys, and I can't hook you up with a perfect stranger. First of all, I don't know you, and why would I refer you to one of my private individual investors? And he would blame me if things went south. But on the other hand, if you're out there, if you know how to correctly put together like I called it earlier, a credibility package on yourself. Maybe it's your experience, it's your bio, it's your resume, there's all kinds of information. There's like 10 key components to a credibility package. You take that out, you go to networking events, or you go to your friends and family and say, look, this is my plan, this is what I intend to do. I'm going to go out and I'm going to invest in this type of property. I'm going to write lots of offers, and I'm going to work with a team that includes these people. Maybe you're a contractor, or maybe you have a contractor as a friend, and all we need is I need this equity, and we're going to work with a hard money lender. So there's a formula that you can employ, and so a lot of people don't know that, and so the classroom that we did this week was essentially just to teach people how to do that. And what's interesting is, as a real estate investor or a budding real estate investor, there's a lot of classes you can take on how to buy property, how to write an offer.
Just not where to get the money.
Where do you get the money? So,
how much should people pay to attend this?
That one was anywhere from, if they signed up early, it was $1,000 up to $2,000, which in my opinion was really inexpensive, given that you can pay easily $5,000 or more for some of these boot camps. But this was the first time that I had done it, and the reviews were very well received. And we're going to do some mastermind coaching with about 10 of the students from that going forward. But I'll probably do this again in another 6 months. Maybe we'll do it twice a year. It was a lot of fun. It was a great opportunity for me to create a lot of written and visual substance. I had to do a 200-deck PowerPoint slide presentation. And so now I've got lots and lots of material that I can use for future video, maybe some audio, maybe even blog posts, etc. So for me, it was almost like writing a book. As the clock ticked and the days crept closer to this 2-day class, standing up for 16 hours in front of a group and talking about a lot of different topics, it was a lot of work to run a busy company and to provide and create all the material for this classroom. So it was pretty exciting.
It's probably also pretty intense, I imagine. People, group of 40, it's probably a big outlay for them, and they're very anxious to have that outlay pay off. So,
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I promised them at the beginning. I said, look, my goal, guys, is to create 10x value. I want you to feel like you are taking away 10 times what you put into this as value. And of course, if they follow my steps and go out and find private money and find the find the relationship with the guy who might, might invest in $1 million worth of real estate with them in the next 12, 24 months.
Oh yeah,
And
that'll
it's
definitely pay
totally
for
worth
itself.
it, right?
Absolutely. Okay. Hey guys, we're going to cut to our first commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get into email time and then a few other interesting things like the Facebook situation with all the investors.
yeah.
So the audience, listen in because give you a few little tidbits about Rule 144 stock. All right, here's our first commercial break. Here's our first trivia question. And we're talking about famous comebacks in sports. Game 6 of the 1986 Mets was one of the best comebacks in World Series history. What team did they beat? The first 3 callers with the correct answer win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Their website is lighthouse4fun.com. Call 888-912-1190. That's 888-912-1190 to answer this question. Game 6 of the 1986 World Series, the Mets, was one of the best comebacks in World Series history. Who did they beat? 888-912-1190. Make sure to include your name, email address, and speak slowly and spell out your information, especially your email for us, one letter at a time, and we'll be right back. Excellent.
Awesome.
You guys know the answer to that one?
I don't.
No.
Niners. No.
So I beat the Mets. It was 86.
The Raiders.
Wasn't Boston.
It was Boston.
Was it?
Boston Red Sox, yeah. Calvin
Oh.
Schiraldi, I think, gave it up. An oil can boy, remember him?
Oh my
Oil
God.
can.
So I heard a guy on the radio this morning. This was great. He said he has this image that the Giants beat the Dodgers, or they get the playoff and they win, and they're in the best 5 or 7 series, and suddenly it's 100 games for Moda and 50 games for
Melky.
Melky, and they come back and win the series for him. But I don't think it's going to be 50.
Good imagination.
Melky.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melky.
His mom
Melky.
should know better. I thought he was living with his mom.
Really?
Yeah, he's living with his mother.
Is he?
And his,
You're not
You
getting paid
should have blamed her.
the
Mom was
mother
spiking my
of his kids is in Florida.
hamburgers with
so,
testosterone.
Yeah,
She spiked my milk.
yeah. That was a clunk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not sure about that. Here, I got to take this thing off.
Oh, okay, wait a minute, let me roll.
Yeah,
get
we were at
rolling,
the
I wasn't
game,
rolling.
Wednesday.
Hey Edward,
What's
what's
gonna
on your
happen?
foot there? Let me see.
Called a friend,
Oh, there
said,
we go.
Thanks for the tickets with the
Let me get a
game." He said,
close-up.
"It was a bummer." Oh, I said, "What? It's a beautiful day." He
In
said,
case
"Got
of
milk."
emergency,
He said,
pull
"What
this
about it?"
sticker
He said, "Oh,
off,
shit, I'll
fast.
win the game for you."
Don't, no, fast.
I didn't know.
Don't worry about
Yeah,
the pain.
I was
Where was
watching
it?
the game and they were talking about Melky and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
either I had to go look
I've
at
got to
it
worry
or
about the pain. You don't have to worry about the
Suspect
pain.
it.
That's right.
Put it down.
All right.
Of course, now the smart money is basically saying he's gone. That's it for him. Goodbye. He'll never play again. It's
For
not
who?
for the
Who?
Giants.
Yeah,
Melky.
Melky. I mean, they should have a thing in the contracts that says that if you are caught, not only do you lose your pay, but you're locked into the contractual time at like 25% of the contract price. So they got you by the short term.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now he just, it's cost him $50 million because he could have had a huge contract.
I
at
think
the end
they
of the
should.
year.
I'm just so dumb, and I think they should keep because
Yeah.
they're not going to do better than that for the money.
No.
Oh, I think
And
they should.
except for Motor, you would think that once burned, twice shy, or whatever
You
the
would think
expression
so.
is.
Yeah, but you know these. I tell you,
Dumb
every
is
time these
dumb, I
guys
guess.
go, no, 40 million's not enough. I think I should go for 45 million, and they
I don't think it's
sign
them
something.
that do it; it's the agents that do that. I don't think they're.
But even that, I mean, what does an agent get? An extra 10%? I don't understand these people. Greed. Goes back to again Latrell Sprewell. Remember?
Oh,
he,
yeah.
He wanted 100 million, and they said, well, we'll give you 90 million or something like that, right? He goes, oh man, I gotta feed my family.
I know, that
Really?
sounded
What do you
pretty
feed
lame.
them? Gold cornflakes? You know?
Those gold hamburgers they charge for $80 in New York.
Yes, exactly. $200 for.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
actually
no.
a hamburger with gold flakes on it. I saw pictures.
Oh, is that
of it.
what
It's
it
like
was?
it's like $80.
Or about the
It's
hot
just-
dog, the one that's $65 or something. It's got the truffles and all this stuff.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
Okay, so we'll get an email time, and then
Yeah, Robert needs some airtime.
yes, okay, all right.
Gotta talk about.
We have a good email for you. All right. Ready?
Rolling.
Is the audience ready?
The audience is always
The
ready.
audience is always ready, yes.
Oh, the film. Darn.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Oh, that.
As Homer Simpson
Nope.
would say.
Nope.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay. And away we go. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Mark Hanf of Pacific Private Money and Robert Schiff of RPM Mortgage. And when we cut to the first commercial break, we asked this first trivia question. Again, the theme is famous comebacks in sports. Comeback in sports. Okay, Game 6 of the 1986 Mets was one of the best comebacks in World Series history. Who did the Mets beat?
Well, let's see. It's the Mets. I know they didn't beat the Yankees, so
Nope.
my guess was probably Boston Red Sox.
Boston Red Sox. That's right. That was the one, the famous one through Buckner's. You're
Oh,
thinking of
that's
the,
right.
Yeah, the Mets.
Yeah.
That excuse me. The Mets Yankees. I think that was the 2000 Subway Series.
Did you ever see the Seinfeld series where they had Buckner on?
They had Keith Hernandez.
No,
Remember the one
no,
with-
no.
with
They had
Buckner?
the guy that ball went through his legs.
I didn't see that one. I'll have to check
Yeah.
that one out. Okay. Email time. Robert, we received an email from a listener. It says, I'm looking for a loan and wondering the best time to lock in the rate because interest rates have gone up recently. What would you say to that person?
I would say join the party. We always are trying to figure out the best time to lock in a rate.
Yeah.
I mean, in the past, before more than 5 years ago, some of the banks and we were able to have clients lock in a rate, and if the rates went lower, we were able to get the lower rate. Now that's
Like
not
that.
the case.
Yeah, just
that
keep
was
it. That's a
the
no-lose
old
situation.
lock and drop policy, but now that's not happening. When you are looking for a loan, you go to the bank, or RPM is a mortgage bank, and we can also broker loans. But when you go to us or to a bank and you ask them to lock in the rate, they pay a fee, and they guarantee that, and they pay a fee for it. So they're
Let me
It's
ask
an
you.
insurance policy, right? Basically?
yes, an insurance policy.
Okay, so RPM also, you said that you're a mortgage bank, but you can also broker. So does that mean that if, for whatever reason, if RPM doesn't seem to have the best rate at the time, you can shop it around?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's pretty cool.
You know, RPM can go ahead and process and fund the loan themselves and keep it, or they can fund the loan and sell it to other places, or for us to make sure we're competitive, if they, for whatever reason, aren't at the market, or there's some other bank or credit union or mortgage bank outside of the normal channels that has a better rate, we are available.
So your higher ups don't mind if you.
They mind, and I tell them the way to have me take all the loans to them is have them be
Be
the best rate.
competitive. Yeah, exactly.
Because,
Yeah.
they say I'm their client. I tell them fine, then treat me like I treat my clients, which means I'm going to go wherever I can get them the best loan. Otherwise, I
It would
wouldn't
be a
business.
miracle on 34th Street when Santa Claus ends up saying, "Hey, go to Kimball's instead of Macy's." You know, just being super honest.
Yeah,
Appreciate
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So what was the rate bump this week?
Well, I mean, there's always Monday morning quarterback when the rates go up or down, and we have some news services that supposedly give us a slight advance notice. It could be an hour, it could be half an hour. Watch how we think the rates are going to go up. So if you're in the process of doing a deal, maybe you want to lock right now. And that didn't occur this time, but in the past, just this past few days, rates went up about 1/4% in interest rate.
That's a
which is
lot.
That's a
lot.
big
lot.
increase.
It's a lot.
What's the market attributing that to?
Well, I mean, nobody could say, and then today I read one of the blogs we get, and it said it's partially because the economic lookout for Europe is not as precarious as they thought it was right now. Of course, we've seen that several times.
So
and
good
there's
news is bad news for
well,
interest
yes,
rates.
yes, good news is bad news. And then the economy looks like maybe it's not as bad as we thought it was, and therefore the government probably was less inclined to do a quantitative easing like they've done twice.
I wonder how much of that is politics behind the scenes, where it's like, oh my gosh, the market really is, the economy's really bad, but politics say, you know what, let's just say that it's not so bad, and then
Well, maybe it's because I'm inside, but what I see is when the banks lower the interest rate and get really busy, so that maybe it takes them 45 or 60 days to do a loan. They don't want to go out and hire new people. They want to slow the process down. And the easiest way to do that is to raise the interest rate.
Well, and that was going to be my next comment. That could it have been attributable just because they're trying to manage the volume? Because I'm hearing that a lot of folks like you, Robert, are just super busy right now.
Super
Writing
busy,
loans.
super busy, and it's
So you
funny how that happens. The interest rates go up, and it's almost, that's what I think the reason is, although no economist is gonna make their money and be able to put out a blog or write, articles.
You can't blame the banks, you gotta
Yeah.
blame politics,
Yes,
Obama,
yeah,
the
or-
economy, something.
Yes, but
So-
it's odd how when they get really overloaded, the interest rates go up, and then there's other alternative reasons supposedly out.
Well, a lot of people would say, "Oh gosh, honey, we got to lock this rate in. You know, we got to get our refinance in now because the rate looks like rates are going up."
Yes, or
Whereas
the
they were
rates
sitting
went,
on the
or
sidelines.
the rates went up. I mean, a lot of deals, I mean, are always in different processes and different deals, purchases or refinances, and people always want to get the best deal they can, as they should, even when they're buying
Well,
a
you see
stock.
that. You see that even when people buying a house, right? It's like people sitting on the sidelines. The market's going to drop. The market going to drop. Let's not get in yet. But as soon as it starts turning, like really turning, that's when the frenzy comes, right?
Most of the people that wait and wait are the ones that will know that it's time to buy when they've missed the boat.
Yeah. Well, didn't you say that you had some stories of a couple of people that?
I have one guy who's, I mean, that's looking to buy a house, and he's been looking to buy a house for the last year and a half, and no, this one's not right, and this one's not right, and he had his different realtors, and I keep telling him, you're going to end up being a renter, so you really should take advantage of the market as it is now, and the market is really strong. We've seen so many deals in Marin, in Sonoma, especially in the city of the East Bay, where the house is listed and there's multiple offers, 5, 10, 15 offers, and every single one of them is above the list price, and sometimes
It's almost
they're
like
all cash.
2005 again, all over
It
again.
is amazing, and there is that market.
Except that the prices aren't going up, 5% a month.
No,
Yeah.
no, but if a house is listed
Eventually,
for
though.
$550 by the comps and sells for $700, that's going to be the new mark
Ouch.
for the.
Yeah.
And it's in pockets. That all the realtors say if the house is good. I'm involved in a deal now where the house, as an example, it's in a decent part of town, and at the height it sold for like 1.1, 1.15, and the people that bought it for whatever reasons lost their job, and the bank took it back, and in the process they sort of trashed the house, and now it's for sale, and the good work that was done is still there, but the electric fixtures are gone, the water heater's gone, they really got angry and pulled out stuff, and still there's half a dozen people that want to pay more than the list price for it.
What's it listed for?
It's listed for, I think, in low 7s, mid 7s.
Yeah.
It's probably going to go out in the mid 8s or something.
Yeah, it's funny that I've looked at a couple of bank-owned listings that are just in the paper, and I said, wait a minute, this isn't such a great deal. I mean, the banks are getting kind of greedy themselves. They're just being like regular old sellers.
Well, the banks don't seem to act in their best interest. The house, if I were able to work with the banks and make them better, I would say you have this asset, this is the house that you own and it's vacant, hire somebody to mow the lawn or paint the property or fix it up, and you could have, just like one of the people that come to Mark to get a loan and do a fluff and flip, they could do incredible asset
Fluff and
for them.
flip.
Yeah, meaning that they don't have to do
Is
too
that
much
anything like
to the
a fluffer?
property. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break here. When we come back, we got a great email from Mark. Audience, you're going to be wanting to listen to this one. Okay, here again, trivia. Today's trivia theme is famous comebacks in sports, and we're going to cut to the second commercial break. And here's a trivia question, guys. If you remember this one, who beat the Houston Oilers in the 1992 AFC wildcard game, coming back from a 38-3 deficit? The first 3 callers with the correct answer win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Their website is lighthouseforfun.com. I can see Mark's eyeballs are spinning. It's like, yeah, you kind of know the answer?
Yep.
Yeah, you do know the answer.
Well, I
Okay.
don't know if I know for sure.
Okay, so call 888-912-1190. That's 888-912-1190 to answer this question. Who beat the Houston Oilers in the 1992 AFC wildcard game, coming back from a 38-3 deficit? Call 888-912-1190. Make sure to include your name, your email address, and speak slowly and spell out your information one letter at a time. and we will be right back.
You said 1992.
92, so the
1992.
Houston Oilers were the AFC.
Yeah,
Right?
so San Diego, was it?
Denver.
New England Patriots.
I'm not going to tell you.
New England.
It wasn't San Diego.
Miami.
Now, if I mention,
Was it
yeah,
Miami?
it wasn't Miami. What if I mention Frank Reich took over? That make
Frank Wright.
Yeah.
Right.
Ah.
Can you invent the airplane? Oh, that was horrible. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I'm still stumped.
Not
Or
not
Frank
W-R-I-G-H-T,
Orville.
R-E-I-C-H.
Frank
Frank
Orville.
Like the Third Reich.
Oh, the Third Reich. They're a great football team.
Yeah. Just don't get on their bad side, or they'll take over Europe.
Come on, Mark, we're counting on you
92.
now.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know what that.
All right, so we've got your email,
Okay.
and then we'll go into some of the fun Facebook type stuff.
Yeah.
Righty. Oh, you know what? We'll come back to you for a minute to get your information. People wanted to call you about plugging the rates. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Power through. And away we go. The famous Jackie Gleason said, I still love that guy. Why do you keep winding your watch?
Do you
So I
remember
like
the?
to. It's not winding. It's setting the,
Setting the time
10 minutes.
I was,
So I know.
Oh, I was
watching Jackie Gleason show on TV, and away we go, and he went off at the end of the show, and you heard this crash bang, and he fell off the stage and broke his leg.
Did he
really?
Wow. No, he was drunk most of the time. I've heard.
Rumor has it.
Rumor has it, but he remembered all his lines. Okay, here we go.
It is Mark, as I like to say.
Welcome back to the Best of Investing. Again, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Mark Hanf of Pacific Private Money, California's fastest growing private lender, and
Indeed.
Robert Schiff of RPM Mortgage. When we get to the second commercial break, again, trivia theme is famous comebacks in sports. Who beat the Houston Oilers in the 1992 AFC wildcard game, coming back from a 38-3 deficit?
And we're stumped so
We're
far.
stumped. It was
You've
an
named
AFC team.
Yes, of
so,
course. You've named every team but this one. Who was the one who lost 4 Super Bowls in a row?
Oh,
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
No, in a row. Like
Oh,
year
in a
after
row?
year
Year
after year.
was, wasn't
Okay, we don't have all day,
Denver.
guys.
Okay.
The Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Remember that? Frank Reich took over for, I think it was,
I'm a West Coast fan. I
That's
can't keep
one,
track of those
one of
East
the
Coast
records that probably will not be broken.
well, yeah, I never said. The only record I think in sports that won't get broken is Cy Young's 511 wins.
Wow.
Because people don't pitch enough to
Yeah.
do
That's
that.
true.
Okay, Robert. Before we cut you off, before you had a chance to tell the audience how to get a hold of you if they want to lock in good rates.
If you want to check in with me, my name is Robert Schiff. My company is RPM Mortgage. We're a mortgage bank and a brokerage. Best way to you can check out our website, RPM Mortgage and /Robert Schiff, or call me on my cell phone, which is 415-515-1941.
Very good. All right. And for Mark, we received this email for you. If I invest in deeds of trust, how secure is my investment? That's a pretty good question.
It is a good question, but I think for new listeners, it begs a little explanation. First of all, my name is Mark Hanf. I'm president of my company that I call Pacific Private Money, also known as Pacific Private Money Loans. We are a hard money loan broker, and the source of capital for the loans we originate are from private individuals like you who are learning how they can boost the yield they earn on their savings or IRA funds by investing in loans secured by deeds of trust. So it's an alternative form of investing, alternative to stocks and bonds, let's say, and it's known as trust deed investing. It's also called private lending, hard money lending, but trust deed investing is one of the more popular names or terms for the act of funding a loan that is secured by a deed of trust recorded against the property that you're lending on. So the question was,
sort of like individuals acting as a bank.
Well, that's exactly right. Thank you for pointing that because sometimes that's what it really takes to kind of get that aha moment. Because there are, believe it or not, even though I'm very very close, I'm in the industry, so sometimes I forget just how many people and such a high percentage of people out there really have not done this. I think maybe 90% of the investing public out there is probably never even isn't even aware of the ability to fund a loan secured by a deed of trust. In other words, to be a bank, to be an individual banker, so to speak, to work with a hard money loan broker like us at Pacific Private Money, to take your money and to fund a loan like a bank loan. And when you do that, you have the same safety and security features that a bank would have. You have all the same rights and remedies as Bank of America does when they fund a loan. The only difference with us is we don't tend to fund consumer home loans. We tend to work in the niche of making loans to real estate investors who are buying, fixing, and flipping, or maybe it's rental property. And the reason we tend to stay away from owner-occupied homes is because of all of the rules and regulations that provide homeowners all kinds of new rights that maybe they didn't have 5 years ago. So most of the loans we do now are what we call business purpose, and they're to real estate investors on non-owner occupied property. So if you have to foreclose, it's a smoother and easier process than, say, having to foreclose on a family's home and kick a family out. So
if I invest $100,000 with Pacific Private Money and I get a deed of trust, you're telling me I'm just like the bank?
You're just like the bank. So the safety and
That's the
security
aha
feature.
moment.
That's the aha
Okay.
moment, right? So to answer the question, how safe are they? So there's safety and security features. I'm not going to be one to say anything is safe, but the safety and security features of a deed of trust, I think, are incredibly compelling and I think much more secure than, say, stocks. So as an example, so what does that mean, the safety and security features? So when you fund a loan that's secured by a deed of trust through a hard money loan broker like Pacific, what you get is you first of all, you have a contract, which is the promissory note, which is the borrower signs an agreement to pay you back. Then that note is secured by a security instrument known as a deed of trust. It's recorded on the property. Most of the loans we make are first position liens, not seconds. So these are first deeds of trust. There's a lender's title insurance policy that's issued to the lender that ensures that lien position and that they are superior to any other liens on the property other than property taxes. There's also a hazard insurance policy that the borrower has to pay for that names the lender as a loss payee in case the house burns down. And then, of course, you've got the personal guarantee of the borrower itself. So you've got the collateral of the property, you've got the strength of the borrower, and in many cases, most of the borrowers we make loans to, these are people in the business of making money in the real estate industry. So these guys, again, it's a business model. So it's a very, in my opinion, if more people knew about trustee investing, there'd be a lot more money pouring in. As it stands, there actually is quite a bit of money out there right now.
Well, one of the things I like, one of the things I like about it is, unlike stocks, is you invest in the stock market, not only does the price go up and down, but you have really no idea what those financial statements mean, or the shenanigans that go on with the CEOs and all
also
that.
probably 90 to 95% of the investing in the stock market is by huge computer-driven programs and institutions.
Yeah, and you can't compete with the big boys anymore. At least with the deeds of trust, it's actually not rocket science. It's very very simple.
And if you're not lumped into a fund, you have a mortgage on a specific property.
Right, it's not a fund. That's actually a really good point. We are not a mortgage fund. We are not a mortgage pool. We are originating loans between private individuals. So when you invest in one of the loans we originate, you're actually investing in a loan secured by a specific property for a specific borrower. So you get the credit report, you get all the information on the borrower, the loan application, etc. You get to see the preliminary title report and any other information, termite report, whatever inspections or appraisal there might be on the collateral. So it is not a pooled investment. It is an individual investment. And so it's just
Well, I can know from being a mortgage broker, there's a lot of people that come to me and want to get a loan to do a project or builders, or they think that they can buy a place and rehabilitate it and sell it. And in the past, they were able to do that easily, and I could get them a mortgage. And now with all the regulations and stipulations and make it a lot harder to qualify, there are a lot of clients that I say it's a great idea, but you're not going to be able to get a normal loan funded by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. I'll have to find a hard money source for you, a private lender, and then I can go to someone like Mark. In fact, I would only go to Mark. I know people that have done deals with him, and the level of professionalism and attention to detail is fabulous.
Well, yeah, sometimes people think that business is like black market or something.
It's not. And two quick points I want to make before we go to the next commercial break is that the type of interest rates you can earn as a lender in one of these are anywhere from 8 to 10% is the range. And additionally is, when you want to, a common question is, why would anybody borrow money at that rate? That sounds like, a distressed borrower. Well, it's not. It's because the banks aren't making loans to real estate investors. The only resource most real estate investors have to use leverage is to come to a hard money loan broker like Pacific, borrow the money at 10% or whatever the note rate is to them, and they have to just work that cost of funds into their strategy. And they do, and they can still make a profit borrowing money at 10%.
Well, I know some borrowers, they get into a deal not realizing that banks will not touch a deal if a construction project is partially done. I mean, if they just...
Or if the people who left the building ripped out the plumbing and took the copper or the wiring or trashed the house, it might not be banks' money.
They say, we're ready to lend you the money, fix it all up, and then we'll lend you the money.
Right,
yeah,
so
exactly.
I say, well, wait a
Well,
minute, I need the money to fix it up.
well, the main reason is because people don't understand about the mechanic liens rules.
Yes, exactly.
That's what they're concerned about. A lot of people don't realize. They go, hey, I'll buy this house. It's only, it's been remodeled like halfway, and I'll just finish it up. Yep, but the bank doesn't trust the fact that all the mechanic liens were released.
So for more information, go to our website. We have an investor website that we call PacificPrivateInvestments.com. That's investments plural, so PacificPrivateInvestments.com, or call our office anytime, 415-883-2150.
You can always go to
The Best of Investing website and see all of us and click the link to Pacific Private Lending.
That's a good lead in, right? Okay, here is our third commercial break. Here's our third trivia question, and the theme again is famous comebacks in sports. Bobby Thompson of the New York Giants hit the shot heard round the world in 1951. Which team was on the losing end? And by the way, a lot of people don't know this, Willie Mays was a rookie that year. He was on deck. Kind of interesting. Okay, the first three callers with the correct answer win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Their website is lighthouseforfun.com. Call 888-912-1190. That's 888-912-1190 to answer this question. Bobby Thompson of the New York Giants hit the shot heard round the world. Which team was on the losing end? Make sure to include your name, email address, and remember to speak slowly and spell out your information one letter at a time. One letter at a time. Kind of went fast on that one. And we will be right back.
I've heard the shot heard around the world, but
Okay,
I mean,
good.
that was so long
Probably
ago.
the
In
Yankees.
1951.
1950, but yeah, I'm sure it wasn't. I mean, why would they give it such a dramatic name if it wasn't like a
You
rivalry or
must have
something
heard
like
the radio replay of that.
Oh, yeah, that's 5 times
And
Bill
there's
Hodges.
some Laurie
Russ
Hildebrand,
Hodges
someone wrote a
shot
whole
heard round
history book with that. Is the essence.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Can they go on the floor? That's right.
Probably.
Right in the way when I put your name up. That works. Okay.
Stay.
Thank you.
the dog shot heard around the world. That's dramatic. I don't know.
In fact, it was on the MASH episode, too. It's the time when Klinger and Charles
that was
Emerson Winchester III were trying to make bets with people, and it was a good episode. I love something, you guys. Like Vincent Price,
All right, so how much do we got for
Let me
segment
figure that out.
4?
just a memento.
All right. Talk about Facebook.
Is also want to get into the little quick story about going door to door.
Oh yeah, knocking.
Door knocking.
I hear you knocking.
Like the PG&E guy.
Who turned out to be real?
Yes, yeah.
What about? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He was door knocking.
Yeah.
Knocked on the door and came in.
Yeah, that was a little odd, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's how PG&E's really doing good tracking.
Well, it's like also you get some of these Comcast guys too, and it's like, okay, who's real, who's not?
Yes.
Okay, 10 minutes and 14 seconds.
That's the left.
That's what we have left. Just double check.
Where was the class?
Yeah, I better get that right here.
Sacramento. Fair Oaks, actually. Nice setup, too. Nice classroom setup.
Was there a demographic for people coming in?
It was mostly California, but it was they were all over the place.
Are you
It was
still
mostly men,
No,
but
I will. I am now.
I'll certainly get some.
Like that haircut?
Nice.
Yeah.
Everybody got a hair.
I was, you know what? I was
Except
trying to
Robert.
grow my hair for a while because I looked at the camera and I go, "Holy smokes! What happened to all his hair? Gone."
Didn't know you had so much forehead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
The
'cause
forehead keeps growing.
I was gonna get a hair transplant, where you
Wisdom.
just here and here, you know, or just maybe get a Sharpie, black Sharpie,
Oh.
just fill it in.
Yeah.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah,
He's
when
the
you
guy
have
that
when you
sold
have
those-
the what do they call
The
this?
tuft?
The widow's peak or
Yeah,
something.
widow's
yeah.
peak.
Yeah, right. Those of us blessed or
Why?
cursed with the widow's peak.
Yeah, are you blessed because you didn't lose all of it, or are you cursed because you only have part of it? Yeah. They kind of look like one of those little rooster things.
You let it grow.
Yes. Okay, gentlemen. Good going, gentlemen. Here we go. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Mark Hoff of Pacific Private Money and Robert Schiff of RPM Mortgage. Our third and final trivia question. Here we go. In the 1951 season, Bobby Thompson of the New York Giants hit the shot heard round the world, and Willie Mays was on deck. Which team was on the losing end? If you remember, that's the one where I think it was Russ Hodges says, "The Giants won the pennant." The Giants, he says it 5 times. So, gentlemen, who was on the losing end?
Guessing the Yankees.
No.
No.
The Brooklyn Dodgers. This was to get
Oh,
into
of
the World
course,
Series. Yes.
yes.
Very good. Okay, so we covered email time, and Marco, before we get into this story, you were talking about knocking on doors.
Well, we were, yeah. We got into talking about the old days of foreclosure investing before you would just either go to the auctions or there were so many bank foreclosures. In 2006, I actually did a little bit of door knocking, looking to do some pre-foreclosure investing, and that was tough. Those were tough days. It was tough just getting people to open the door. That's the hardest part on that. But
Hi, I'm here to buy your house.
oh, I hear
Or
you.
make
I
a deal.
we had this whole pitch laid out. I don't even remember what it was anymore. It was before I got into the hard money business and decided that was definitely where the money was.
Okay, so I got a story on this, and I understand that this is a true story and happened in California.
Mm.
This guy comes up to this house. He just fell in love with this house. And it's not for sale. He just fell in love with the house. Knocks on the door. The wife answered, and he says, "Excuse me, I know your house is not for sale, but I really love the outside of your house. I want to buy your house." And she says, "It's not for sale." And he says, "Well, I'll offer you $1 million." And so she, wow, that's pretty good. She yells out, "Hey, honey," talking to the husband, "this guy wants to buy our house for $1 million. It's not for sale. Shut the door." Boom. 10 minutes later, the guy comes back, and she says, "What do you want?" He says, "Well, I really, really want to buy your house." She goes, he says, "I'll offer you $2 million. And, she, "Honey, the guy is now wanting to give $2 million. No, shut the door." So the guy comes back about 10 minutes later, and she answers the door. She goes, "Oh my goodness, you again? Honey, that guy's here again." "Well, tell him $8 million. And the guy says, "Okay, done."
No,
And
that's
so
a true story.
that's what I heard. Don't know if it's true, but it makes for a good story, though. Okay.
Sounds like, alligators in the sewer or something.
No, but I do know of a couple people across the street from where I used to live, and someone knocked on their door and offered them about twice the market value of the house, about $1.25 million, and he could write them a check. And they said yes, and they went to the next house in the street and did the same thing. And that was about 8 years ago. He was planning on buying it for his kids. Those houses have been vacant for the last 8 years, but the people got the money and moved on.
I assume the check's cleared.
The checks.
Well, in this tight market, I know a lot of people that are actually door knocking, looking for opportunities, and it's a great way to get around the fact that there's, the MLS has such low inventory out there. There's so many, you're competing with a lot of other investors to buy these homes. If you go out and make your own market and knock on doors, whether it's pre-foreclosure or just looking around neighborhoods for homes that look like they're not being cared for, you can get a little creative in this market and take advantage of some opportunities.
All right, I want to change something for a minute here. Okay, Facebook investors are cashing out. That was the title of
Glad I'm
yesterday.
not one of them.
Yeah, a couple of days ago, we saw this on the newspaper here. So on Thursday, Facebook closed just under $20, and over 270 million shares became eligible. Now remember, it hit at 40, close to 40, right?
Yeah.
38.
38,
Open
is
at
it
38,
right? So it's about half its value.
It's headed to about half.
Okay. So now, if I understand it correctly, it's called Rule 144 stock, and the idea is you don't want a situation where it comes out at $38 and suddenly everybody, including the CEO, says, "Great, I'll sell," and then the doors close because there's nobody to run the company. So they put restrictions on the sales of these shares, and apparently they are now doing it in two different ways. One is the 90-day rule, where like nobody in the inside can sell. After 90 days, people like J.P. Morgan and those kind of insiders apparently are allowed to sell, but the employees apparently have to wait another 30 days. 90 days. So they have to wait a total of 6 months. So can you imagine being an employee, comes out at $38, and you're just sitting watching, you can't do anything. Can't do anything with your stock, and then it's 3 months later, now suddenly, bam, 270 million shares comes available. The stock plummets some more, and you sit there waiting, doing nothing, because you can't. And here's what happened to me personally: is I got in on the ground floor as sort of an extra spiff of some deal that we had done, and we were given 100,000 shares of stock, and it came out at like $2 a share or something. And we sat there, and because of Rule 144, we had to sit there just watching it. And we watched it go to zero before it had a chance. We got nothing, and we liked it.
You had wallpaper.
I don't even know if we got that out of it. Just enough to feed the bird cage, for the bottom.
Well, the newspaper only talks about, those couple of dozen Facebook investors who are sitting on hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars worth, even at $20 a share of Facebook stock. But I would venture to guess the vast majority of Facebook employees who have some kind of vesting, they're watching what could have been after, maybe toiling for several years, blood, sweat, and tears with a minimal salary or wage, and looking to make it up on their vested shares, and watching that go from what might have been $1 million to $500,000 or worse, depending on how that tracks in the next 6 months. So it's really that's where the sad you can't feel sorry for the founders of the company.
You think Zuckerberg's going to go on food stamps pretty soon?
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be
I don't
quite
think
that
he
well.
cares. And again, I think
No, he did. Well, apparently, according to the article, he does. Now,
really
how
why?
much of it? Well, because I think apparently he's not just
ego.
looking at him. Yeah, it's
He
more of
doesn't
an
want
ego
to
thing.
stay. Google went public and Zoomed, and Apple is zooming, and he doesn't want to be that.
Well, then you got LinkedIn, which is double what it opened at right now. LinkedIn, I think, is a fabulous business model. I prefer LinkedIn personally to Facebook. I don't spend any time on Facebook, but I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn for business reasons.
Yeah, I know.
I think one of their problems is that everybody in the world uses it more than they use so many other things, but where's the revenue?
Exactly. I mean, unless people click on a sidebar or something, I don't know where they're going to be making their money. It's like so many times when you're looking at some of these, like I like Yahoo to get news and stuff, but I can't stand when I click on it. Suddenly, a 30-second advertisement comes. I either look away and do something else, or I just say, you know what, I'm not that interested in it. click away. And it's funny because all the users, I look at the comments. That's the favorite part for me is to see all the comments. And I can't stand these.
Usually using a little bit more choice language than that, right?
That is true. We are on radio. We're FCC.
No flaming.
No flaming. Yeah. We have just a quick little extra minute here. Any last thoughts about what's going on in real estate or interest rates or economy? Or predictions of the election?
Well, it's the election year, and it's going to be an interesting few months. So,
I wonder if it'll matter who gets in afterward. Do you think maybe a lot of people are just sitting on the sidelines until somebody gets
I think
in?
certainly the media is going to do very well this quarter.
I wonder if Pat Paulson's going to come
Oh,
back in,
that's
or
right.
Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse usually generates about 1,000.
Well, there's the woman
hits.
comedian, what's her name, who sang the Star Spangled Banner in a less than pleasant manner. I forget her name.
Joan Rivers. No.
No.
Oh, Roseanne Barr?
Yeah, Roseanne Barr is a serious presidential candidate.
Under what party?
I would say it's the Peace and Freedom Party, but I don't think
I
she
thought it
would
was the
be
beer and
elected.
chips party.
The beer. Yeah.
All right, guys. We are going to have to cut to our thoughts for the day. And how can something be new and improved? If it's new, what was it improving on? You get that? I understand that. Okay. And never be afraid to try something new. Remember that a lone amateur built the Ark, and a large group of professionals built the Titanic. Keep that in your thought. Your bonnet, yeah. Okay, tune in next week to the Best of Investing. We're going to be giving away 9 more free vacations for answering trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm Edward Brown, wishing you the best of investing. So long.